Hey everyone, Forever2 here, and welcome back to Reverse 1999 for a event side story of Chapter 10. Now, I realized when I look back here, I know I've gone off from the game for a few days because I was distracted by Honkai Star Rail's story, and I had the need for finishing that story. So we're here in Ruinas Gloriosas Directrices de Metaforas. This is Recoleta's side story, I believe. So, we're going to be doing the full version of this here because apparently I only have 3 days left until the new character better comes here. So, let us see. We got 13! Okay, this is going to be a long freaking video then. Alright, let's not waste time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. So, on to Editor of Genius. Let's go. Buenas gloriosas y directrices de Metaforas. I don't know. This book is dedicated to Maria. This might be after the chapter story. I don't know. A publishing house. A man hurries through the hallway, a folder tucked under his arm and 2 cups of coffee clutched in his hands. He turns the corner and collides head-on with a contributor. A booklet falls to the ground. Please be a little more careful, sir. It's you, Tommy. Here to bring Miss Hunting to publish your ever unnoticed expressionism literature again, are we?
Goodbye.
I don't have time to argue with you today. I need to show this to Miss Hunting. Thomas picks up the fallen booklet and strides by without a second glance. The H.A. Publishing House at the end of the 3rd floor corridor in the office to the left. Thomas, his movements brisk, takes 2 familiar turns before pushing open the glass door.
I'm sorry.
Miss Hunting, I know I'm a few minutes late, but at least the coffee here hasn't gone cold. Anyway, before we discuss my publication, you simply have to take a look at this. Movie posters are plastered on the walls between bookshelves, holding countless great literary works. The air is thick with the scent of coffee and ink. Oh. Okay, no rush. Have a seat, Mr. Thomas, and thank you for the coffee. Actually, you're already 8 minutes late, but that doesn't matter. I looked over your latest revisions. I think putting aside 30 minutes for this meeting was a little optimistic.
Which means?
It's good to go? Then we could just... First of all, Mr. Thomas, your work doesn't meet the publishing standards. And second, you're refusing to cooperate with me. Not only have you kept some lines I marked for deletion, but you struck in a few extra sentences. Now let's use the remaining 20 minutes to discuss something unrelated to your manuscript. How about the recently released film, The Atal River Murder? I believe you could learn a great deal about storytelling from it. Ooh, Thomas concedes under the editor's relentless barrage, his enthusiasm doused as if by a bucket of cold water. Any argument he prepared is now left unsaid.
I see.
Okay, you really are strict as ever, Miss Hunting.
But
I can't give up on my work. It's the only way I'll break free from my mind. I have to find a way to get it published. Then I wish you luck. By the way, the director of the murder sent me a few tickets. I think you should take one and go see it.
look at this.
I want you to take a look at this first. The man gently places the booklet he's been holding under his arm on top of the movie ticket Hunting just placed on the desk. And why should I look at it? I scheduled you last so I wouldn't run overtime, you know.
Listen.
Guess who I came across on my way here? What, you ran into your idol Franz Kafka? Thomas is well used to jabs such as these.
Here's the case.
There is a messy-haired girl working at a cafe. Whenever she had a free moment, she'd pull out a thick stack of booklets and eagerly hand them out to any customer who seemed interested. But the strange thing was, there was no publisher, no category, no recommendations, not even a price printed on it.
Wow.
I thought it was a hotel flyer, or a travel brochure, or a university club ad, or something, but to my surprise, it was a short story. So, is it any good?
I think that,
It is more special than good.
no matter what,
Please just read it. It won't take you 10 minutes. In less than 10,000 words, it manages to create something magical, something totally unique. It's like a literary demon leapt out of the Pandora's box and tried to mimic human language for the first time. That's ridiculous. The elusive metaphors, the layered structure. Good grief, I can hardly believe it was written by someone so young. Let me take a look. For a first time, there is no sound but the hum of the fan and the faint crackling of burning tobacco. The minutes tick by, and scratching pencil joins the chorus. At first gently, it was steadily, and then growing harder and more hastily. At some point, the lead snaps with a crisp crack. Mr. Thomas, I have a request. Can you tell this sleepwalking writer to meet me here before 6? She's quite remarkable. This thing could turn the world upside down. I told you so. I met her outside that cafe on the corner. If we're lucky, she should still be there. Am I gonna guess that's Recoleta? Maybe. The young writer strides in, a box of the cafe's special honey poached quince pie in her hands. If that's how you pronounce that, quince pie? I knew it. Miss Hunting, it's exhilarating that you asked for me by name. I knew that handing out my work for free would eventually pay off. Hearing her own name, the editor looks up surprised. Oh, you know me?
We met in Guadalajara.
I saw you at the booth of the PHA Publishing House. Later, a writer friend of mine told me that you're the golden signature of the HA Publishing House, especially skilled at helping authors rise to fame and ever getting their works adapted to film. If I had known that back then, I'm sure we would have talked a little more, and I might even have a few novels published by now. Well, better late than never anyway. Hold on. When did I say I was going to help you publish a novel?
Huh?
Isn't that why I'm here? After all, you said, let's bring that little genius who could turn the world upside down. Did Thomas put it that way? Good grief. No wonder his writing is so flowery. Then why am I here exactly? Hunting walks to the window, pushes it open, and lights a cigarette. Recoleta notes how impeccably dressed she is. The noise of the traffic outside makes her voice sound distant. Give up writing. What?
I beg your pardon?
Yeah. She can hardly believe her ears. You're too obsessed with the purity of literature. Your work has no place in the 90s. It's all about films now. Listen, if I could send you back 30 years to a gun-riddled Latin America, I would. At least then you'd have a chance. Hunting sends a puff of smoke out the window, taps her knuckles lightly on the desk. She fixes Recoleta with the gaze of a strict teacher. Do you have a clear vision of your work? Any carefully structured or thoroughly polished ideas in your head? My vision is crystal clear. I want people to talk about visceral realism again, to capture the fleeting and make it eternal, just like the great writers of the 60s. Hunting eyes Recoleta, a complex smile is appearing at the corners of her mouth. She stubs the it's the morning. I am very tired. I woke up real early. Just for this. I'm going too fast. My thoughts are just crumbled up here. It's just... You know. So she stubs out her cigarette and sits back down at her desk. Let me rephrase that. You want to write good work that readers can understand, right?
That's right, Miss Hunting.
But I think it's different to balance that with literary depth. No need to get ahead of yourself. Sit down. I've read your story. Hunting hands over the open booklet. Recoleta's eyes are immediately drawn to the revisions covering its pages. Under the homeland sky, the shadows of the cowhands loomed larger than their bodies. This line isn't bad, quite vivid actually.
Hmm?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
And after that, the cowboy meets a cowhand without a shadow. not realizing that the cowhand's shadow is actually his own. When the sun sets, their silhouettes stretch into great beasts along the mountain ridge, and they wave their whips and drive the non-existent cattle. This part feels redundant. Besides, how would the readers know that the cattle are a metaphor?
Okay.
But planting a seed of doubt here allows for a wonderful moment of realization at the story's climax. Now, look here. At this line, these cattle never lower their heads to graze. They chase the stars until they drag the cowhand's soul along with them. No one should dream of returning home. The land there will bite and bite at you until you can never leave. Why did you write this?
It's a metaphor too, like the cattle herd.
I'm not questioning the sentence itself. It has style, but where's your theme? This is clearly a story about the protagonist returning to their homeland after many years, exploring magical realism through the unfamiliar. So why, by page 5, am I still only seeing cowhands and cattle?
I understand what you're saying, but these are important elements of the novel. They'll all come into play later on.
The cowhand looks exactly like the protagonist when he was a child. Actually, he's a phantom of the protagonist's childhood, but the protagonist doesn't recognize him. Alright, I suppose there's some interest in there, but how am I supposed to know that? Let's flip ahead to here, page 37. Look, little genius, you took 37 whole pages just to tell the readers that the cowhand from page 5 is a mirrored symbol. Perhaps you're right. I really do need to adjust the structure. Literature isn't the place to act out your private dreamscape. Do you think imagination alone will win over your readers? Here's my suggestion. You're still young, and you have potential, so why don't you try studying screenwriting? Recoleta looks utterly confused.
I don't understand.
What does screenwriting have to do with literature? Every time I tried to watch a film, I ended up falling asleep before the end. It's just a suggestion. Though I understand a rather extreme one, I just want you to stop underestimating the importance of storytelling. Their conversation continues beyond the setting of the sun. Even so, the true marathon has only just begun. They kept at it. By the time Recoleta lifts her dizzy head, the clock has already hit 8:15. Oh, it's so late. Sorry for taking so much of your time, but what a thrilling literary discussion. Thank you. Hunting rubs through the corners of her eyes with her thumb and forefinger, leaning back into her chair, exhausted. She has to admit her impression of Recoleta has changed. Don't worry about it. It's been my pleasure to meet a writer as unconventional as you. Alright, that's it for today. Go home and think over these 3 questions. First, why does the cowboy return home? Second, why does he meet the bubble-blowing cowhand? Third, why do the characters know things that even the author doesn't?
Does that mean...
Recoleta's fatigue vanishes in an instant. This is true. Invaluable device. Not just a back and forth from a few friends. This is the guidance of a professional editor. So if I revise my novel according to your suggestions and come back, does that mean I have a chance at publication? That depends on how well you revise it. I'm not making any guarantees. I just need 2 weeks. No, 1 week. I'll bring you a completely reworked version. If possible, I'd prefer you make an appointment at the front desk next time you come. At least let me know you'll be here. She holds so high expectations for the young writer. After all, years of experience have taught her that writers have a tendency to exaggerate. Best of luck. I'm heading home to warm up with a hot drink.
Till next time, Miss Hunting. I'll most certainly be back. Believe you me.
Ha! This is gonna be a long freaking video, I can tell you that. I don't know if I can keep up reading. Alright. Alright, the cowboy and coachman. The setting sun cast a deep orange glow in the office, causing Hunting to squint. She sets down her pencil and leans back, exhausted. Every name on the reservation list on the cluttered desk before her has been scratched out, all except one. Alright, last appointment, let's see, it's Recoleta?
Yes, is it my turn?
Long time no see, Miss Hunting. Good afternoon. The office door creaks open, revealing a fluttering feather and a half of a pale face. The editor gives a sharp inhale before nearly sliding off her chair in surprise. You? When did you get here? Yeah, sorry. Never mind. That's not important. You're the last one today. Come in. Recoleta closes the door and confidently places her manuscript on the desk. Don't worry. This time I've adjusted the pacing in the opening chapters. No more late exposition. If only I could believe you. Alright, let's get started. Ahem. An Andrian Valley breeze brushes over Hunting's weary eyelids as Recoleta begins her story.
The cowboy had never once considered going home. That was, until he met the coachman. Like him, the coachman cast no shadow behind him.
He boarded that battered carriage and embarked on a long journey, crossing mountains and rivers until finally he arrived home.
He surveyed that land, familiar, yet strangely unfamiliar, and a chill crept up his spine.
Hunting quickly realizes her eyelids have grown too heavy to lift. The air thickens, distorting as her surroundings dissolve into shadows and vanish into fog. Something's wrong. What's happening? Okay. These images, they're moving? Distant mountains begin to form in Hunting's mind. I am not sure if I can read all that. I'm just gonna let this go. You guys can pause to read if you want. It's probably Recoleta's arcane skill? I'm just thinking here. I'm not gonna read this fast, guys. If anything, this is just gonna give me some time to collect my vocals. Let my voice rest. Wait, there's no need to give filming directions. Ooh. Wait. Templo de la Metaforma. When Hunting opens her eyes again, she and Recoleta are standing in a dense, foggy wilderness. The ground beneath them is dark and damp. What? What the hell place are we in? The fog is getting thicker. The camera pulls back. An ancient temple looms faintly in the distance.
Here we are. The Hell Place.
But Hell Place? Wait, this is your story? I thought these scenes only existed in your mind. Of course, they only exist in my mind. Everything is fiction, but this is the first time I've managed to bring a reader into the side of the world. Incredible. Miss Hunting, you truly are a great editor. Huh? Why do you say that? Meaningless compliments don't exactly explain all this. Emboldened by the spirit of adventure, Recoleta brushes off her editor's concerns. Wait, but this is your story we're in, so we can leave whenever we want, can we? Oh no, Miss Hunting. This story isn't mine at all. It belongs to the cowboy and the coachman. Then, where did they go? I think when we enter the story, we took their places.
Let's not waste any more time.
Yes.
Let the great adventure begin.
Okay. Recoleta's voice carries an odd, unquestionable pride. Stop joking around, Recoleta. Can't we get out now? Get out? Recoleta laughs so hard that tears start to well in her eyes. Our legendary adventure has only just begun. How could we cut the tale short? How could we let the readers know the ending soon? Of course, as the author, I can give you a hint. Inside this temple lies the secret core of the entire story. Come on, Miss Hunting, keep up! Hunting wants to say something, but somehow she feels an irresistible urge to step forward. Like a growing seed, a familiar yet long-forgotten sensation arises within her. Wait, don't run too fast! She follows Recoleta into the mist. Soon, it becomes a fog, so dense that it is difficult to see the path ahead. Hunting grabs Recoleta's arm, forcing her to stop. The scenery's been repeating. Haven't you noticed? We've passed the same pillar at least 7 or 8 times. I can't see the way through all this fog. Let's just take a breath and take a minute to listen to our inner voices. No, that's too abstract. Here, you need to keep the reader's attention. This giant pillar should be the story's MacGuffin. Does that mean... In short, we need to make this pillar a driving force. Let me think. Yes, you need to rewrite this part. The cowboy and the coachman discover something unusual about the pillar at the repeating temple. But by touching its 4 sides in order, east, west, south, north, they finally escape the maze.
Ah, right. Let me see. East. West.
Okay, this is getting weird, guys.
South. And north.
What the hell? Really? So what just happened? Miss Hunting! Miss Hunting! Hunting jolts awake, a dull headache creeping across her forehead. What was all that just a dream? Did we come back? We never went anywhere. Did you fall asleep? No, forget it. Where were we in the story? The cowboy and the coachman just escaped the maze. They're about to head toward the ending. Alright, back to business. There are still quite a few things that need fixing in the earlier sections. Didn't I mention the MacGuffin earlier? Yes, you told me to cut the whole listening to their inner voice scene, which was actually the cowhand's whistle. Instead, I changed the way they escaped the maze to interacting with the stone pillar. But to me, that pillar is just a pillar. It doesn't represent anything. Why does it have to be important? Exactly. It doesn't represent anything. That's the whole point. As Hitchcock once said, in crook stories, it is almost always the necklace, and in spy stories, it is most always the papers. Take 1942's Casablanca, for example. The transit papers in the film are a classic MacGuffin. They drive all the characters' actions, but their actual details don't matter to the audience. It's purely a narrative catalyst, just like the stone pillar. It doesn't define the story's central theme. I always thought the term came from Rudyard Kipling's novels. I don't know how to pronounce this one. The name. I hope I got it right. So this is what it means in film terminology. Interesting. Oh, I should take notes. To sum up, the most important information should always be embedded in the most critical lines. Otherwise, readers might skim over them.
Fantastico! I've already thought up of a few ways to make it even better.
Sure you do. Hunting glances at the night sky at the window. The time has slipped away. Hold on, little genius, it's getting late. Let's rein in the inspiration for now. But it's Friday. If I don't get your feedback now, I'll have to wait until Monday before I can talk to you again. Which means I'll have 2 whole torturous days of starting my unfinished ending. She theatrically clutches her chest in one hand, Hunting's sighs torn for a moment. After a brief pause, she speaks. Tomorrow night after 8, I'll have some free time. I usually take some time to myself around then, but I can entertain a guest. Are you inviting me over? Of course. I've got a stack of piping hot revisions just waiting for you to tuck into. It'll be an all-you-can-eat buffet. So what you saying is, honestly, your novel has something special, but getting it published won't be easy. Even if everything goes smoothly, we need at least 6 months to finalize the manuscript. It might not even make next year's book fair. Book fair. But what do I know? What do I know is this: I can get your novel into the world if you can finish on time. Ugh. My grandma's messed up. My grandma's messed up. I can't do much. It's just unbelievable. Okay, still got a few more to go on to the stage. What is this? Recoleta must defeat the literary demon within the given rounds. At the start of each round, unveil 2 random pages. Use the magic words to boost your chances of winning. Note that its effect may change in subsequent encounters. At the start of the round, Recoleta is able to perceive and unveil all the pages, catching a glimpse before they turn face down. Oh no, it's one of those repeating words. Damn it. I don't like this. Alright, flip the matching pages to obtain the completed literary symbol from those pages. Oh, it's one of those things. Deal 2 damage. Match pages in pairs will deal 1 damage to the literary demon. Award the completed literary symbol from pages and trigger the symbol's effect. Now it's the enemy's turn. Unveil 2 random pages. Once all pages are turned over, the side with the fewer matching pairs takes special damage equal to twice the difference in pairs. Alright, tap here to see how many pages are of each type you have left. So there's a critique page, analysis page, a draft page. So critique pages and analysis pages require 2 matching flips to activate, while draft pages activate with 1 single flip. Okay. I know that there's these here. I actually know these 2. Recover 2 HP, which I just have here. Oh, hell. Alright. I know what to do here. I should have taken that. So it's a game of matching cards. And that's just the 3rd stage. Okay. Okay. It's a cold winter's night, but inside the air feels warm and inviting. Hunting walks in carrying an old glass pot filled with a deep red liquid. Wine, everybody! Lemon slices, apples and oranges, cinnamon sticks. Using Malbec for mulled wine is a bit of a waste, but it does have a satisfying richness to it. Oh, that actually sounds quite sophisticated. Maybe I could use that in my writing. Go ahead. I have to say, I do like to indulge in it from time to time. Oh, and sorry for the mess. I hope you don't mind. Not at all. In fact, it looks pretty tiny to me. This place is like a palace compared to this cluttered mass of books, notes, and clothing that fills her own cramped apartment. Sit wherever you like. Couch, a cushion, a chair. You can even take the floor if you want. Hunting perches on the edge of the bed, setting the glass pot down on the book. Stacked nightstand. Right, there's something I need to talk to you about. You know why I suggested you to learn screenwriting, don't you? To improve my narrative structure, right? Like how Hemingway, Woolf, and Fitzgerald all share the same editor, Maxwell Perkins. No, you're giving me far too much credit, Recoleta. I'm nowhere near that level. At first, I didn't understand why young writers like you were so obsessed with literature. I want you to see for yourself why cinema has conquered the 90s, while literature is slowly losing traction. I want you to hit a wall and see with your own eyes the decline of the literary world.
How could that be? The world of literature may falter for a time, but it'll never fade away, Miss Hunting.
It's like the trees in winter. Yes, they look barren for a moment, but then the spring comes. That's exactly why I write. The writers I admire are explorers, rebels, defiers. They never stop to wonder which way the tides of the times are turning.
Now that's a cause with real meaning behind it.
Okay, Alright, I'll admit there's a merit in sticking your guns. But tell me this, do you think you truly understand today's literary world, Recoleta? Even the great Walt Whitman said, I myself often think I know little or nothing of my real life. How could we possibly claim to understand the state of literature today?
To me, writing is just as exhilarating as traveling around the world or slipping into a blissful dream.
Ha! I've heard that before. Writers love saying things like that. If that's how you see it, then... She recalls Recoleta's reckless determination in the Templo de la Metafora. Something distant stirs inside her, like she's being wrapped by an old knitted sweater left unworn for years. Never mind, it's nothing. Noticing Recoleta's eager expression, Hunting realizes that it's time to get down to business. Alright, let's get to work before I finish this whole bottle. What happens in the second half of the story? Yes, as titillating as this conversation is, I like to get down to getting the ending right. Oh, and I listened to what you said. I studied some books on film and incorporated some screenplay-style dialogue. Recoleta jumps up from the floor, handing over the freshly marked up pages. Oh, let's see. Last time the protagonists escaped the fog-filled maze using their wit. Now they're heading toward the temple's hidden chamber. The whistling stopped. The cowboy and the coachman made their way toward the light beyond the fog. But as the fog thickened, the sounds around them faded. With every step, the world grew more and more unfamiliar. At last, they found the entrance. Inside the temple was covered in ancient runes, its walls etched with unreadable symbols and paintings. An old man and a cowhand, with his cows stood in the distance, as if waiting for them. The wind carried a whisper like an ancient poem through the fog. And again, they're pulled into the story. Whoa, another thing here. Hunting tilts her head, listening to the faint whisper carried on the wind like an ancient poem. It is clear that they have left behind the warmth and comfort of their home. She's excited. It's Hunting! We're back in the story again! I sighed. So we are... At least this time I was expecting it. What's with the parentheses? As if we... Are we directing every emotion in the dialogue now? The secret core is obvious. It's perched up atop the massive stone platform. Satisfied. The most important information should always be embedded in the most critical lines. Looks like you actually took my advice, Recoleta. Eager. Yes, we are so close to the core of the Templo de la Metafora. I can feel it. Focused. Alright, how do we reach it? Mumbling. See those two crows? When they meet strangers, they turn into ghosts. The weary-looking crow becomes an old man. He slumps in the shadows. The fledgling crow becomes a young cowhand, swinging his legs on the stone platform. Just as the story describes.
Hello. Hello, travelers. Your arrival was foretold, but passing through this fog will be no easy feat.
Right? Bright. A home isn't a home. It's a memory. A cow will wander when it has lost its pasture, but it will always find its way home.
Oh dear. Oh dear. It's you. The ones who set everything in motion. Finally here. I've waited a full century for this moment to come. Here is the case. If you wish to touch the core of the Templo de la Metafora, you must first solve a riddle.
Bring it on. I love a challenge.
I didn't drink any water this morning. I'm so thirsty. I guess I fit for the old man here. I'm thirsty.
Dear, I cannot speak the riddle. The cowhand knows it, but even he won't just give it to you directly. It's all part of the metaphor. Please, look at him. You'll have to win him over first.
Yes. You have to make me happy first. No. Why should I listen to you, old man? The boy claps his hand and lets out another long, drawn-out whistle. From the shadows, a cow emerges, deep wisdom behind its black eyes. Look at those deepened eyes. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello, big sister. This is the riddle. Only my cow can carry you up.
Oh, you little rascal! That's not how it's supposed to work.
Before the old man can finish, Recoleta nimbly hoists herself onto the cow's back. And thud hits the ground hard. Yeah.
See? It's not that easy.
Recoleta wipes the dust from her face as she falls into thought. Alright, I can't take this anymore. Why are you putting parentheses in front of every line? I told you to take inspiration from screenplay narrative structures, not copy their formatting. Fine, I'll fix it. But first, we need to deal with this cow. This cow is clearly tied to the theme of your story, Recoleta. It shouldn't be too hard for you to figure out.
Let me think.
Okay.
Her eyes land on Feathered Quill. Sorry if I'm yelled, I just yawned. Alright. Cowhand, can you give me a hint?
Of course.
But I'll only answer yes or no. Alright, your cow, is it a symbol of heavy responsibility? He says no. The passage of time? No. Once more. Is it something more abstract?
Yes.
Of course. Is it what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Really? Recoleta locks eyes with the cowhand, a triumphant smile beaming on her face.
Literature doesn't offer answers.
Right.
Rather, it serves to raise questions and open up unexplored realms.
It's about exploration, about possibility, about capturing what can't be defined. Yes, I remember from my chat with Dr. Torres. The riddle itself is the answer, isn't it?
Yes.
You've solved the riddle. Now, let it take you where you need to go.
The cowhand's playful grin fades and he gives a nod. The old man waves his hand and the two of them dissolve into two crow-shaped fog clouds. The cow carries them upward, slow and steady. So what's the old man's purpose in this story? He doesn't actually give any new information. I can't really explain it. It's just the way the story goes. We have to speak to the old man before we can talk to the cowhand. I think this section could use some reworking. Wait, maybe it's not so simple. People spend their lives asking about the future, about who they'll become, only to realize everything they are was already there during childhood. Recoleta, you buried this line far too late into the story. This section is good, but it needs to be clearer. You have to guide the readers to the meaning. As she finishes her sentence, the cow arrives at their destination. Hunting reaches out, her fingers touching the radiant core before her. Light surges through her fingertips, and countless images and words emerge in her mind. So beautiful. How did you write it? It is the sum of countless meanings. Everything in life has to offer. It is sung by someone at the end of their life's journey. Yet in truth, it is just a word meaning miracle. And odd. The light fades and the two imposter protagonists return to the warm little room. We're back? Hunting flips through the manuscript again, eyes sharp as they meet Recoleta's. In the dark light, her callous fingers trace the collar of an old knitted sweater. It is a long-forgotten relic from her youth, woven from an impractical love for literature. You can come over whenever I'm free on a Saturday night. You mean, besides our usual review sessions, you'll personally help me revise my novel in your free time? But let's be clear, this isn't going to be easy, It'll take time, and there's no guarantee it will sell well. But I can guarantee this, an exclusive publishing deal.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What an absolutely wondrous outcome from our pilgrimage to the Templo de la Metáfora.
Clearly, this is going to be a long battle. And Hunting's instincts are rarely wrong.
I know, Miss Hunting, but it'll be a glorious one.
In this young writer, she glimpses the lingering embers of a bygone era. Truly, a vivid adventure. Alright, Distant Quakes, Part 4, if that's what you call it. But it's Stage 5. Single malt whiskey, no ice, and a splash of water. The perfect spring companion. This is the life, my friend. I'll stick to my usual Monty tea with mint and 2 sugars, please. Hunting sets the 2 glasses down on the table. Hold on, are you old enough to drink? Want to try mine? It's a 15-year-old scotch. You know what I just realized? There's no need to try everything in life. Yes, I should write that into the story. Ha! Too bitter for you, huh? Eh? Guess you're still a kid in heart. Recoleta's philosophical statement has earned her a teasing remark. I'm joking. Even if you wanted some, I wouldn't let you have it. You know, I don't believe any writer needs nicotine or alcohol to fuel their creativity. They're just vices they become reliant on to get through the day. Oh, so you're saying you're not like them? Of course not. Haven't you figured me out by now? If I remember correctly, when we first met, you lit a cigarette. That was an exception. Honestly, you caught me off guard that day, little genius. Why's that? Because that era you're always talking about is already long gone. Around the time that I was born, Latin American literature was at its peak. Every writer passionate about words could feel that strong and long-lasting earthquake. It wasn't just the rise of a single author either. It was a collective awakening. Everything was urgent, irreversible, as if the soul of an entire continent had suddenly become self-aware and started speaking through his literature.
Increíble, Miss Hunting. What a masterful way to put it.
Just few workplace topics, that's all. But you captured exactly the way I feel about it. When I look back at writing of that generation, it's like magma rising from the Earth's core. It pushes through layers of history, violence, and memory, finally breaking the surface, carrying with it ancient silt and blood. But can you imagine how heartbreaking, how overwhelming, how intoxicating that is for me? I missed that great earthquake, but I can still feel its distant tremors. When I first put pen into paper, the tremors aligned with my very heartbeat.
Surely you understand what I'm saying, right?
Of course I do, Recoleta. That's exactly why I'm pushing you so hard to write something great. Why I refuse to go easy on you. Only a strict coachman can rein in a wild horse. Hunting has come to understand this deeply. She closes her eyes and questions herself in the dark. Forget all the damn professional theories and publishing experience. Hunting, do you think this novel is good enough? It's good. Very good. There's a lot to like about it, but... Camping. As summer fades into autumn, the air turns crisp and dry. Hiccups. Hunting strikes a flint, effortlessly lighting a fire. The iron pot above it bubbles and steams. The scent of simmering broth makes Recoleta's stomach grumble. That bubbling's a little noisy. Try not to scare off my prey. Hey, that's not my fault. When you said camping, I thought you meant a family trip or a picnic in the park, not hauling a dozen kilos of gear over 2 mountains and to sit in the middle of nowhere. And now we even have to hunt for food? Recoleta rubs her sore shoulders as she looks at hunting in the distance, stalking her target. Oh man. The hunter's gaze is sharp as a hawk's. Her movement's precise. She crouches low, slipping into the shadows. A single rustling leaf, a flick of an ear. The prey notices too late. The blade strikes clean, swift, and painless. Phew, alright. Just need a little prep before it goes in the pot. Don't just stand there, give me a hand. Under Hunting's guidance, Recoleta's heart handles the basic tasks. Cleaning, butchering, and blanching. Finally, the meat is added to the pot. Recoleta chews on a leaf, staring at the chunks of meat bobbing in the broth. Ugh. So this is our dinner? I thought the carrots, beetroot, and celery were supposed to be the whole meal. What kind of life have you been living? By the time she tastes the broth, the sun has set and the light has faded from between the trees. Sorry, little rabbit. I'll eat you with gratitude. Aw, they hunted rabbit. Ha! That line belongs in a dark fairy tale. Oh, and here's another fun fact for your background notes. This little guy may be called the Patagonian hare, but it's actually a rodent, a close cousin to Surrey rats. So I'm actually eating, huh? But actually, it's surprisingly good. Her brain and taste buds reach a swift tryst. Relax, it's wild game from the forest. It doesn't get any cleaner than this. When hunger strikes, people always find a way to dress it up in a poetic language to justify accepting nature's gifts. You're getting sharper, little genius. So, 2 months pass. By now, you guys can read it. Pause and read. I know, is it a little too late? As the night deepens, Recoleta deftly sets up a few tripwire traps around the tent, working alongside hunting with practiced ease. She has picked up quite a few advanced survival skills. It's late autumn now. I yawn. Tonight will be the coldest one yet.
Oh, I'm fine. I've dealt with much colder nights than this.
Yeah, this must be a flashback to Kamala, I think. She thinks back to the endless nights in Ushuaia, the kind of cold that never quite left her memory. It's a little early to sleep. Want to talk about something? There's plenty we could talk about besides my novel, but I know we'll end up back there anyway. It's like a maze we'll forever be circling around and around in. Hunting raises an eyebrow. There's no arguing with that. Alright, actually, I have thought up of a new idea for how to publish your work. Oh, let's hear it. Damn it. My yawn has been catching up to me. I've been turning it over in my head a few weeks. Alright, brace yourself. What if I told you your novel would work better as a trilogy, with Templo de la Metafora as the first volume? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to change the ending, but it certainly makes a strong case for it. A trilogy. A new ending. A new ending?
Dios mío, I'd never considered that.
My protagonists have never even taken a step outside their own story, let alone leap headfirst into a new one. Then give it a try. Your characters already exist vividly in their world. All they need is a way to cross the barrier into a new one. A motorcycle, a carriage, even a limping old mule would do, don't you think? We need to think bigger. It's beyond the bestseller list. This is about shaking the entire literary world. Let them embark on a new adventure, Recoleta. Just like the one you told me about, your journey to the end of the world. All you need to do is throw in a murder case, give the cowboy a reason to stumble into a mystery, and before you know it, he's a private detective. Recoleta's breath quickens at Hunting's rapid-fire pitch. Man, this tea is good. Wait, Hunting, slow down. I don't even have the first novel's ending figured out yet. Oh, of course. I'm getting overexcited. Take your time, Recoleta. All great writers need time to think, to struggle through their own doubts. I think I should at least finish the first novel's ending before I start worrying about the next. That's fair. But it is the harder route. You have to be careful. Your ending needs to be deliberate, precise, because once it's published, there's no turning back. And I don't want you to write like you're dancing with shackles on. Hunting oils her knife to keep it from rusting. She goes to say something, but under the dim glow of the camping lantern, she turns to see Recoleta already fast asleep in her sleeping bag. Never mind. You young people sleep like armadillos in winter. Makes me jealous. Good night, little genius. Back to the city. It really all comes back to the trilogy. If a trilogy is in fact necessary, of course I'm willing to write 2 more novels, but when I actually try to structure them, I realize it's incredibly difficult. Maybe try structuring like the good, the bad, and the ugly, with a clear climax to the action? I get what you mean, but last month you told me the story shouldn't end after the old man and the cowhand leave. What did you mean by that? Exactly what I said. Your protagonists need to actively bring the story to an end, but not entirely. But they already took the temple's core, didn't they? Of course, but you need to hook after that. A reason for them to choose to continue. Picture this. They took that beautiful little artifact and started heading back. Then one of them felt an inexplicable urge. Hey, why don't we see what's behind there? The other felt uneasy. I'm telling you, we should just leave. No, we have to go see what's back there. The cowboy struggled off the coachman's grip and bolted forward. Then a few moments later, the cowboy turned back, his eyes filled with despair. What did you see? The cowboy said nothing. So the coachman followed him to the back of the stone platform and found a sea of skeletons. Where did all these skeletons come from? I don't want to write a massacre into the story. Hear me out. What if they realize that among all these skeletons, there are only 2 distinct builds? That of 2 adult males.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm not sure I follow.
Their thoughts are like 2 frayed wires, unable to connect. For the first time, Recoleta finds herself struggling to follow Hunting's reasoning. Alright, the madness of creativity. We're starting getting through halfway, I believe? Alright. Alright, on to the card game. Alright, so in this fight, the literary demon... Alright, had to clean something. In this fight, the literary demon has gained that dangerous skill effect. Proceed with caution. So he says, every 2 rounds, matching pairs of pages deal additional 1 damage. So, I do this. Alright. Let's see. Okay. So now we're not doing the instructions here. Ah, damn it. Oh well. Okay. Gotcha. Haha. Let's see. I knew I saw it. So analysis of like run round of damage. Okay, wait. Cool. Alright. On to charging the windmill. That was weird. Never I thought I would play matching card games in this game. Recoleta leans against the rusted railing of her apartment's rooftop, looking out over the blurred cityscape. Below's sparse streetlight flicker, and a distant train whistle echoes from afar. I keep revisiting it. Or is it revising and revising it? But I still can't find the right way to write the final sentence. It's been a whole week. Will I ever be able to write a proper ending?
No, Recoleta. You can't just falter at the first obstacle.
This is the part of the process. If you want to be published a writer, you have to push through. Alright, focus on the revisions. No more overthinking. Let's start with Hunting's suggestion and see where it leads. The characters need to continue their journey, but I don't understand. The cowboy went home just to search for a place to belong. I want them to get lost, to stumble forward blindly, just like we do in real life, to find meaning not in reaching their destination, but in the search itself, because that is our reality. How could this happen? I was haunted by the ending of the rise and fall of the sanity for years, and now here I am, haunted by it ending all over again.
Have I not grown at all since then? Have I tried so hard all this time, only to get stuck in silent stagnation all over again?
Can't I grow like so many protagonists with a writer's arc? Or with a character arc? I'm sorry. I keep misinterpreting things. Her shadow stretches long across the rooftop tiles. Then a cool breeze brushes from behind. You mean the protagonists are ghosts, trapped in an endless cycle of death and rebirth? Push it further. Make it something more concrete, easier to grasp. They suffered through countless loops, died over and over again, and only now in this cycle have they finally uncovered the truth? Good, but that's just the foundation. We should layer in some literary elements. Recoleta blinks as she attempts to keep up with Hunting's train of thought. The two crows have stood watch for a century. They have their own purpose. They shouldn't just be a plot device. They can be symbolic. What if they represent the enslaved souls of the protagonists from the previous cycle? Wait, no. That idea needs refining. Souls are overused in fiction. We need something fresher, Recoleta. Any thoughts? She thinks hard, but nothing comes to her. Recoleta feels her words get stuck in her throat. If it's your suggestion, then do I have to change it this way? It's getting late. Let's leave it at that for today. Hunting notices something is off. She walks Recoleta to the door, her breath fogging in the cold air. And I forgot that my Xbox is still on. Hang on. Let me... Alright. I kind of muted the TV so you don't have to hear that noise. Don't push yourself too hard, Recoleta. Remember, first, we're writing a novel, not a screenplay. Second, there's a lot we can learn from cinema's visual storytelling. Third, we need to make sure every reader can follow the story. Always keep those 3 points in mind. I'll finish it, Miss Hunting. I'll figure out the ending. Be careful on your way back home. Stay on the well-lit streets. Got it. See you next week. A pen scratches against paper, leaving behind hurried strokes of ink. So the cowboy and the coachman see their remains, evidence of the endless cycle and their endless deaths, and sink into despair. That's it, right? If that's the case, what does it all mean? Shadows, home, distant echoes, none of them seems to connect. Letting go of the past burdens and making peace with oneself, sure, that works. But what about the old man and the cowhand? Oh, apologies. The struggles of old age and the origins of childhood. If reconciliation were that simple, why go all the way back home in the first place? It doesn't add up. So Recoleta paces back and forth on the rooftop. No, Recoleta, you can't think like that. You've already wasted too much time talking to the moon. Don't just think about it. Pick up the damn pen. Her restless hands grip the rusted railing, making it groan under the pressure.
Take up your pen, Recoleta.
Remember that fire, that hunger to write. You have to prove you're not weak. Get back to your room, sit at that cursed desk, and write that ending. Hurried footsteps echoed down the stairwell. Another long night has begun. She's been pulling all-nighters, I believe, if that's how it looks like. As dawn rises, the sky turns pale as the cafe welcomes its first customer.
I'm sorry.
We're not open yet. Oh, Recoleta. Haven't seen you in a while. Did you quit? Hey, Gonzalo. As you can see, I'm working on a novel. Recoleta lifts the notebook and thick stacks of papers that are tucked beneath her arm. Oh, I knew I had to stop myself from talking. I was about to yawn. Can I have a black coffee? 2 sugars, no milk, thanks. Of course. I'll sneak you in a donut, too. Just don't tell the boss. Thanks, Gonzalo. By the way, since the place is empty, would you like to take a look at my novel?
Oh dear.
You're gonna hit me with another one of your incomprehensible metaphors, aren't you? No, trust me. This time it's different. I've got an editor now. She's given me some excellent advice. I'm writing a trilogy. Actually, I've just finished the first novel.
Sounds great.
Alright, future bestseller. Gonzalo places the coffee and donut on the counter before leaning against the register and opening up the notebook. By the time the sky is fully brightened, his fingers linger on the last page for a long while before he finally closes the manuscript.
That's awesome.
So this time, it's an adventure about escaping a temple? This isn't like anything you've written before. Why the shift in style? That's not important. Tell me, is it good?
That's surprising.
I've never read anything like it. It's exciting and eerie, that's for sure. It's like watching a psychedelic movie or something.
Great.
Finding a pile of your own corpses, realizing the core is the secret, then becoming a detective wandering in the wilderness. It's really great. But don't you think the cowboy and the coachman never truly get the ending they deserve?
Why?
Yeah.
They set out once more to uncover the secret of the ageless.
Here's the case.
Nothing is wrong with a journey of discovery. I mean, Don Quixote is a knight's adventure too, isn't it? And everyone says that's a classic. Don Quixote isn't just a silly man on a bony horse finding windmills. That story really makes people stop and think. It's something they keep coming back to. My friend, you've got your characters staring at a mountain of their own corpses. I'm pretty sure that's enough to get people thinking for a while. You've got a point. Thanks for humoring me, and for the donut. Maybe I'm not as unsure as I thought. Unsure? That book's already finished, isn't it? Yes, but I've been stuck on where to take the second novel for weeks now. My mind's so empty, it's like a barren desert in there. No way! You're a Recoleta. Your ideas usually come faster than you can write them down. Wait, I get it. I guess you put it all into this novel, right?
But
I'm not gonna pretend I understand all that fancy literature talk you're always on about. But if you worry about whether something is literature or not, you might forget why you started writing in the first place. Why I started writing?
Why did I start this story in the first place?
Gonzalo's voice fades, blending into the clinking cups and hushed conversations of the cafe. Recoleta stares at the manuscript. Is the answer buried somewhere between the lines? Aw. Look at her contemplative seat here. A pile of paper befits a writer. Since my last visit, how many Saturdays have I missed? It's Saturday again. What time is it? Forget it. It doesn't matter as long as I write something good. She turns over, burying her face in the couch cushion. Something good. What have I even written in these past few weeks?
Look at this mess. Endless, meandering descriptions. Broken dialogues. Characters wandering around without purpose. It's a complete joke.
Just go ask Miss Hunting. Recoleta, didn't you say she was your Maxwell Perkins? She'll have some nuggets of wisdom for you. Maybe tonight I can finally pin down the outline for Chapter 2. I wonder if Miss Hunting has any more concrete suggestions. Yes, maybe, just maybe, we can solve everything tonight. But first, let me calm my mind before heading out.
Maybe I just need a little siesta.
As she drifts off, fragments of chaotic dreams claw at her mind. By the time everything settles into silence, the room has been nearly entirely swallowed by darkness. Another challenge and another game. I wonder what this is this time. So the first page, I didn't see what. Okay, I didn't actually pay attention. Ooh. Ooh, I got it. Ooh. Damn it. Ow, okay. What have I seen? Fuck, okay. I'm starting to lose here. There you go. Okay. There you go. Ooh! Damn you! Alright. Yeah! Oh, come on. There we go. My victory. There we go. Alright. How many more we got? Probably a few more. Alright. I fell asleep? Okay, so I'm guessing this is her outfit for her insight level 2 or 3. Maybe. Wait, what time is it? Was it? I have to go see Miss Hunting. In the forest, the trees sway in perfect rhythm. Their movements are so eerily human that they almost feel choreographed.
I know this dance. It's a tango.
She has once seen this fiery dance before. Whoever's behind those trees, come out. I know you're watching me. At last, you have returned, Recoleta. We have waited a century to see you once more. Who are you? Why are you hiding in the shadows? Step forward so I can see your face. Otherwise, don't blame me if I'm a little curt. There is no face to see, child. I am but a shadow, a reflection cast from the depths of your mind. The weary, clouded voice becomes clearer. A reflection of my mind? You mean I'm dreaming? Yes, this is your inner world, an intricate labyrinth of symbols built by your very self. And this thing's name is Numb. Labyrinth of Symbols. That's a nice name. Kind of like the Templo de la Metaphora. Same kind of thing. Thanks, stranger. I think I just found a name for chapter 2. But wait, you're saying these swaying ghostly trees are all part of a greater symbol? Sharp as ever, each tree here represents a symbol you once carefully cultivated. What's wrong with them? Don't tell me they're actually dancing. Not long ago, this labyrinth fell into disorder. Now every tree is caught in this restless, unsteady sway. This is the source of your insomnia. You waited here just to tell me this? I am here to guard over the farthest reaches of the north. This place is so cold and indifferent that it numbs all who enter. And you have touched the boundary I watch over. I'm too tired. I must leave. Goodbye, Recoleta, and heed my final advice. Do not believe a word it says. Advice? Who's it? The tortoise walks into the flame without hesitation. It is devoured, soothed, and drowned. You can pause and read if you want.
I understand you all too well. I also threw myself into the fire without a moment's hesitation.
Recoleta speaks to herself, a sadness creeping over her. She never got the chance to go to say goodbye, but now she has to move forward, or she'll be trapped in this labyrinth forever. More psychedelic effects, I like that. Whoever's hiding behind those rocks, come out. The tortoise of the north has already told me the truth. Now tell me, what do you represent? Oh, there's a light bulb. Ah, you have finally arrived, child. It's called Enlighten. For an entire century, the East has remained untouched. What is it you have faced out there? The old voice is steady, rich with quiet power. That has nothing to do with you. Oh, my dear, it has everything to do with me. With us. You write and rewrite and rewrite your rewrites, but it's never quite right, is it? You've descended into an endless cycle of revisions. Gasp. Remember this, child. The words you cut away never truly disappear. They become a part of you, flowing through your hand on and onto the pages of your next work. Great stories are born from relentless revision. That is the fate of a writer. But readers will never see the parts I erase. They only exist in my mind, torture me alone.
What's the point of it all?
But that doesn't diminish the value of every phrase, every word, every syllable, whether or not they serve the plot. Then tell me, why must they be erased? Isn't it because I put too much into the individual sentences and don't consider their connection to the story? That is of no matter, child. What matters is, you are afraid you are the one who killed the cattle, are you not? But you simply set them free. Do you remember now? In the world you created, the cow hand has no need to herd. The cattle have no need to graze. You provided them the freedom to chase the stars. Even if my cowboy becomes the detective, even if he's doomed to walk the tragic path, is that something I have to accept? Of course. To write is to leave the traces of life in the hearts of the readers. A tale of beauty, joy, and miracles must also carry the scars of trauma and conflict. For a writer not to suffer the same scars as their readers would be just. No, I don't believe you.
You really think that will make me feel better?
I've told myself the same thing 1,000 times before, and in the end, it never meant anything. The old voice hesitates. there is a tinge of resignation behind it. Well, words have no power. Only experience can convince a person. I will leave this place as you wish. It cannot be accomplished in one night. Everything that you are about to experience will give you the strength to go forth. And at the very least, heed this advice. If ever you are to reach the southern forest, do not believe a single word it says. Remember that, child. More psychedelics. Woo. Back into the West. Oh, it's a piñata means cheering. It's called cheering. I like that. What's got you so worn down, Ray? A bright, playful girl's voice flits through the dim forest light, as lighthearted as a fairy from a storybook. Who are you? Look around you, Ray. Isn't this forest so beautiful? We spent so many dreamy summers in this little Garden of Eden. But it's been so long since you've come to see me. The girl's voice falters, tinged with unmistakable sadness.
We were friends? Oh my, that's right. How could I have forgotten you?
A distant sense of nostalgia surges through her, a memory of a childhood companion she once knew so well. Yes, how could she have forgotten her? What are you doing here? Don't tell me you've forgotten, Ray. We used to sit under the trees together in summer and watch the clouds roll over the hills in the distance. You wrote a poem about it, remember? The clouds are cotton candy, and I will swallow them whole. You gave it to me. I wrote something that childish? That's kinda cute. Oh, how I've missed you, Recoleta. My best friend, my little panda cub, my green-eyed knight. Aww. The sheer sincerity in her voice sends a tremor through Recoleta.
It's been so long. I've missed you so much.
Come out from behind the fireflies, my friend. Let me see you. You've grown up, haven't you? Just like I have. You've been lost in your work for so long. I feel sad for you, but I can't help you. You've forgotten so much, Ray. So many things that were pure and beautiful. You had so much perceptives and you had sorry, let me try that again. You had such a perspective and sensitive soul. The poems you wrote for me were so delicate and eternal. Has the world of reality weighed so heavy on you? If you're tired, then let's play in the forest for a while, shall we? Just until you're ready to leave. Will you stay with me, best friend?
Yes, I'd love to. Reality?
Huh? The jarring sensation clears Recoleta's mind. She shakes her head, her green eyes flashing with a sudden sharpness. She's like a child waking from a long dream, realizing their imaginary friend never truly existed. Stop playing games, liar. I've already met 2 of your companions. Tell me, what are you the symbol of? Oh, no, I'm not a liar. How could you say that, Ray? You're breaking my heart. You don't even remember the first time you picked up a pen, do you? All these years of waiting, only to be met by a cold-blooded executioner. If you're truly this cruel, this heartless, then I won't stay here any longer. Goodbye.
Goodbye, then.
Had a cough. I drank from the wrong pipe. Water. Recoleta shakes her head as she tries to block out the sorrowful girl's voice. She clenches her teeth. It's just a symbol. She never had a friend like that. I won't believe a word. I have to find my way out. I have to escape. Now let me fix this. Through the pain and confusion, Recoleta stumbles forward. Then crunch of fallen leaves and snapping of branches echoing beneath her steps. But under the siege of exhaustion, she collapses and she lies on a damp earth. Her head throbbing, she closes her eyes. I couldn't press me. When she raises her hand again, a pitch-black cave stands before her. From the depths of the darkness comes a voice, warped, deranged, neither male nor female. Slided. What is that? At last we meet, our most magnificent rider. Welcome to the southern forest. My 3 dear friends, I hear, have spoken quite a bit of ill about me. No, I won't listen to you. You, all of you are liars. This is the paradox, a chaotic Pandora's box. If the others lied, then surely I am the one to tell the truth. Who is it who truly deceives you? You're the last one, aren't you? What exactly do you represent? I am the black hole in your heart, that shadowy place where all your desires fester. Anxiety is a poison. It seeps into your words, warping their taste. Why do you have to speak like that? It's unbearable. I can smell it. The stench of doubt laced in your hurried breath. You are a proud, self-assured, grandiose writer. Listen to yourself. Go back. Go back to where you belong. Damn it. I don't have time for this. I have to go back. Recoleta pushes herself up. The pain in her head is gone, her body brimming with energy. Then she freezes in confusion. For someone like you, growth may very well be a crime. You should have been nothing but a beast of literature, untamed, unyielding. I have to go back, but to where? What am I going back for again? You will never escape from that sorrowful, secretive, ceaselessly murmuring scene. Literature is not merely a refuge of kindness and warmth. It is also a sanctuary for resentment and spite. Why do I have to go back?
I belong to the fictional world.
Oh gosh, he's already believing.
I am fiction.
Split fiction, sorry. Our mission is complete. This symbolic labyrinth is now entirely in your hands. Farewell. Soft as breathing. Itchy as allergy and hysteria. Rub, twisted, tingled. Read this, please. Pause. The labyrinth falls into an irreversible collapse. Recoleta's eyes are vacant. Go back to reality. And look, welcome to the abyss. A writer must have relentless desire. A writer must have enduring resilience. A writer must have an innate perception. A writer must have unshakable arrogance. Damn it, I almost choked on this. I'm on water. Alright. Okay, I just got back and I just made myself some lunch since it is lunchtime. Almost lunchtime. Got myself some quesadillas with fajitas. Chicken fajitas. Oh, it's good. So, I don't know if I'm... Let's just say they're not too crunchy. They're just good and toasty enough. So, on to 10, Fable of the Failure. Okay. Fable of the Failure. Just food for thought. Hunting, we've been talking for nearly an hour now. I need a conclusion. So far this year, the HA Publishing House hasn't had a single book break into the top 3 bestsellers. That's an undeniable fact. Of course, Director. I've been in close contact with several authors and have already prepared multiple commercial plans. Their new drafts will be submitted soon. I've heard these words far too many times, Hunting. The market's changing too fast, and the reader's tastes are unpredictable. I think we need to explore new directions. I firmly believe that literature is our way forward, the director.
Here's the case.
Literature was indeed once our major selling point, but now slogans like the vanguard of the literary revival and the next generation's Pedro Paramon have been overused.
Listen.
I need to give the investors a clear conclusion before the acquisition at the end of the year. I understand, Director. It's all about money. Of course it is. Not mad. I think it's just overused.
Long time no see, Miss Hunting. How have you been?
Recoleta, where have you been? I asked for you after you at the cafe, but no one knew your address. They said that they've barely seen you since you quit. Ah yes, I'm sorry for missing so many appointments, but please believe me, I had to take the time to reconstruct the symbolic forest labyrinth. Forest? What forest? More importantly, have you finished your outline for Chapter 2? Let me remind you that this month... No, there's no need for an outline. The symbolic forest is the name of the chapter. Shoo. I've already completed it. She pulls a thick manuscript from under her cloak. Fortunately, it is mostly untouched by the rain. A relieved smile crossed Hunting's face. Comes across. I did get to read the word. This is probably the best news I've had all month. You're almost writing like a professional author now, Recoleta. Alright, let me take a look. How did our cowboy and coachman travel from the temple to the forest? Hunting flips through the first page of the manuscript. Silence hushes over them. The soft scratch of a pencil, the rustle of pages, the gentle patter of rain. A sharp snap as the pencil lead breaks. A long, deliberate inhale, a look of utter disappointment. This is what you're submitting? I wrote it with all my heart. Recoleta, do you know what this is? Hunting stands up, gathers the manuscript neatly together, and pushes it toward Recoleta. A scorched, lifeless forest? Desolate? Empty? There's nothing here. You've let me down, Recoleta. Freedom of expression does not equal reckless indulgence. You've repeated every mistake I pointed out in your last manuscript. Your world is totally unwelcoming. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The burnt ends of electrical. What the hell is going on? Hunting's voice grows distant as countless flashing fragments. What the fuck is going on? Everybody's a critic. Flashes of polite yet firmly rejecting letters. Flashes of faces filled with prejudice and indifference. Flashes of scenes repeated over and over again, every one wounding her heart a little more.
Why should I seek their approval?
I never truly been accepted by those who view literature with prejudice and misunderstanding. Enough. That's your problem to deal with. It's not my place to get involved. But I can't help you publish this kind of literature. It's totally self-indulgent. Of course, you're free to ignore my advice. You are the writer after all. I'm just an editor. Recoleta feels dizzy, an unnamed sense of conflict taking over her. Outside, the sky is covered in dense, impenetrable clouds, and a torrential rain is about to engulf the city. Without a word, she grabs her manuscript, stands up, and runs out of the office. Damn. As Recoleta runs through the rain, it gradually extinguishes the flames of defiance burning within her. As rationality returns, questions begin to claw at her. Following the flow of instinct, avoiding self-examination, that's my current state of writing. Well, of course, I know this isn't exactly professional writing. But Recoleta wipes the rain from her forehead with her sleeve. She leans against the wall and buries her head tightly in her arms. Damn. Now we're in a desert. The cool air is quickly replaced by scorching heat. The raindrops becoming sweat, her clothes drying instantly. She and her words return to the original state, like a blank page untouched by ink. All the structures drawn under guidance, all the carefully added embellishments, now crumble to dust. This desert, it looks familiar. Yes, Texas. Wait, isn't this the desert by the town of Amalfitano? No, I tore this page apart. I can't possibly be back here. Back to this wasteland.
Who told you this place was a wasteland? To my mind, it is 10 times more remarkable than anywhere else in the world.
A shadow suddenly blocks the sun. Recoleta looks up.
Who are you? Are you... me?
I can already tell from the voice. No, that's not right. What are you the symbol of?
I'm not a symbol at all. I'm the gaucho rider of 1975, the legendary cowgirl of Sonora, Recoleta.
That's funny. You're Recoleta? Then who am I? We exist in thousands of forms across endless pages. The faces we present to readers are limitless.
After that, you chose to return to reality, didn't you? But I chose to stay here, in the realm of fiction.
What are you doing here?
I don't have time to sit around and chat. My comrades need rescuing. I must rally our people, unite our strength to turn these ruins into a library.
Because the library is the greatest metaphor of mankind.
Will you stand with me and help write the next chapter of our cause? You really are me. I can't think of anyone else who would speak such nonsense. Come on, Recoleta. Get moving.
Cross the silent desert, follow the Gnostic river to its source, and find a way through the cave dwellers' settlements. In 9 or 10 nights, the ruinas gloriosas will appear, and there an important comrade awaits our rescue. Alright, but how can you prove we'll find this so-called ruin? The Guacho rider pulls out a rusty badge.
See this? It's my badge of honor.
There was no grand ceremony when it was awarded to me. In fact, there was no official honor from it. But still, it is an irreplaceable symbol, the undeniable proof that we will find the Ruinas Gloriosas. It's beautiful. How did you get it?
What happened to you? You really aren't anything like me anymore. Listen to your heart. There's something missing, isn't there? Blessed me, my beating heart does drum. The fervent words of visceral realism, within my chest they thump.
Isn't that a poem you wrote?
Well, you may have forgotten much, but none of that matters now. A new adventure lies before us, and should we fail, let us fail spectacularly.
Come on, Recoleta, get moving. Recoleta takes her own hand. What a strange feeling, like curling up under a blanket in winter. She returns to that comfortable place. Optimistic, reckless, and an anonymous writer chasing the literary explosion era.
Failure doesn't diminish the glory of the journey. At the very least, I'll earn a badge of honor, just like hers. Yes, and my novel will be that badge.
Ooh. Alright, what's next? Alright, we got about... I didn't even mean to click it. Meaningless acts. Did I get it right? Wait. I was trying to to scroll over to see how many I have. Spring has come, bringing a renewed energy with it. Recoleta, her heartbeat thumping in her ears, steps into the publishing house building. She carries no manuscript, only a letter. One barely large enough to contain a single long poem. Alright, just drop off the letter and it's all over. After taking a deep breath, she slips the envelope into the manuscript submission mailbox and turns toward the exit.
Thank you, Miss Hunting. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whether to thank me or apologize, you should say it in person, Recoleta. Recoleta's hand reaching toward the door handle freezes. Following the rustle of an envelope being opened, Hunting's voice echoes from behind. Miss Hunting. Recoleta watches as Hunting slowly approaches. Under the overhead lights, she could barely make out Hunting's face. I'm sorry. Alright. Do you remember the first 3 questions you asked me? I think I finally know the answers. The build-up to this letter is too long enough for the readers to nearly forget the question. He returns home because, to him, it's home. He meets the cowhand because he happens to be tending cattle. The characters know things the author doesn't, because this is the cowboy story. He has lived for many more years than the author has. Of course, these are your characters. Your unique style shapes them, making them one of a kind. I never truly understand the purpose behind every sentence I write. They flow from my pen, word by word, driven by an irresistible instinct current. And I am a business hunter who works for profit, a bookseller who has abandoned her instincts. I am a clueless bystander on the riverbank. I can glimpse the vitality of the river, but I cannot question the purpose of each ripple. She says, if I've already grasped its vitality, why should I question the purpose of each ripple? Miss Hunting, you've taught me so much, but I will never become the kind of writer you envisioned. In you, I see an old sweater I once knitted, a glorious illusion. Only now do I fully understand myself. My writing exists to follow a great era, to recreate a grand adventure. Alright, I used to fantasize that the distant tremors would once again shake my heart through your words. My writing exists to follow my selfish desires. And this unrealistic fantasy is also my selfish desire. I imagine myself living like a poet, romantically, hopelessly, rebelliously, recklessly indifferent to fame. You should imagine yourself living purely, happily, like a true poet. Blessed me, my beating heart does drum the fervent words of visceral realism within my chest-day stump. Grow wildly, cast aside the damn pursuit of fame, and live recklessly. I was just like reading the poem right here. I didn't mean to skip the dialogue though. And write. It's been an honor to know you, Recoleta. A familiar setting, but the positions have shifted. Recoleta leans back in the editor's chair, while Hunting sits upright on the other side of the desk. Is this a metaphor for seeing things from a different perspective? Of empathy? No, I just sat for too long and my back hurts. A moment of humor brings a smile to both of their faces, melting the slightly icy moment between them.
I realize now that I never really understood you, Miss Hunting. Nor did I really try to.
Me too. I never really tried to understand what you truly thought, so we're even. But if you'll listen, I'll tell you a story. Alright, a story about a young woman born during the literary explosion era. A faint tremor flickers in Hunting's eyes. Recoleta can sense the subtle change in her. After graduating from the University of La Plata's literature department, the young woman declined her professor's invitation to pursue further studies and chose to enter the publishing industry instead. In her handwritten letter, she wrote, "Professor Carlos, I want to be the Maxwell Perkins of Latin America."
Why would she want to be an editor when everyone else at that time was striving to be a writer?
This world has never been short on writers and poets, but these geniuses need someone to pass on their inspiration.
But she did become a great editor, didn't she? Because she's you.
Ah, okay. No, she didn't she didn't become a great editor. She became a shrewd merchant. You know, I've always worried that I would distort your work. Maybe the first fish version was always the best. Who could really say? This is the eternal dilemma, an ultimate question of an editor. It haunts me at night. In those moments, I feel like I'm the prey. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's great when the books I edit are adopted into films, but I can't forget what they began as: literature. Literature is eternal. It's irreplaceable. Words rush into Recoleta's mind. Discussions about revisions, debates about literature, insights into life, and someone opened my door. I'm not sure what they wanted. I was just too busy reading to notice that. They wash over her like a rushing river.
I have an idea. A good one, I promise.
Even though I've given up on publishing my novel, I promise you, I will finish it.
Would you help me finish my novel? Not as an editor, but as a friend?
Aw. Recoleta knows this might be a meaningless act. Of course, it's a deal. It would be my honor, Recoleta. Let's complete this work together. Yes, as friends, as literary companions, as people following their own desires. Haunting knows this choice comes from an unnamed courage, and she chooses to believe in literature, in fate, in acts that seem meaningless. Just like Recoleta. Alright, so this might be the final gaming stage here, and oh my god, okay. Alright. Yeah. I didn't even get to see anything at all. Damn it. I honestly didn't see anything. Damn it! It's tough. Damn it, this is tough. Too freaking tough. Wait, what did I put in? Hey! There we go. Christ. You're kidding me, right? Ow. Well, this is a battle of wits. Ooh. Clock. Yeah. Nice try. Alright, this is my intense battle here. Wait, where did I see the pen? Ah, there it is. Haha. Crap. Ooh! I got him! I got his ass! Nice. On that pitch-black night, Recoleta sees no one. Why am I back in the desert? Where did hunting go?
You've drunk the poisoned wine, Recoleta. A treacherous scheme of the cave dwellers.
It's the venom of the Ouroboros' fangs, severing the cause and effect, leading us to the ruinous Gloriosas. In her mind, her own voice echoes. They tried to stop us, but fortunately they didn't know that we are one and the same. I left Directrices de Metáforas in your notebook. It will lead you to the final ending.
But
You took the
why?
point. Yeah.
Why did you sacrifice yourself? Haven't you longed to see the victory of our great movement?
No more questions. It was a necessary sacrifice.
I did it for us. Now go. Save our comrades and see this journey through to the very end.
I understand now. The comrade you're talking about is hunting, isn't it? I need to find the Ruinas Gloriosas and free her. Recoleta snaps back to reality, pushes herself to her feet, and strides forward with determination.
A forgotten river runs, its course to all untold. At the source of the Gnostic river, in shrouded darkness laid, within that mirror, the cave dweller hides, his ancient face displayed.
So I just need to follow this river, right? Maybe. Ooh. Phew. What a long night. Looks like I finally found the source of the Gnostic River. And now, there's no other path forward. Wait, could it be? Within the mirror, Recoleta gazes at the black surface of the water. She pinches her nose shut and leaps in. Time for a swim. Recoleta feels herself sliding downward through a cave. Yet there's no sense of wetness or flowing water. Whee! This is actually kind of fun! Until you fall into traps. Indiana Jones style. She lands in a misty, damp cavern.
Tread lightly. Do not disturb those shadowed tribal dwellers.
Their language is as unyielding as stone that gazes deep as caverns. The cave dwellers. Are they those figures wandering around? Can they really see me? The eyes look completely vacant. Maybe I don't need to hide at all. Grant me immortality. Grant me glory!
Stay away from me!
Recoleta takes off running, ignoring everything as she sprints forward. After passing through countless identical caves, Recoleta finally stops to listen. No footsteps, only the sound of an inexplicable underground wind. Phew, finally lost them. That wasn't so bad.
The 9th and 10th time darkness falls, Las Ruinas Gloriosas shall appear to mark the journey's end.
In ruin, glory, and radiance clear. So am I supposed to sleep down here for over a week to unlock the next puzzle? Wait, I see. This is a puzzle too. This place is still lit. So to make darkness fall, I need to extinguish all those braziers. The flames instantly go out, as if responding directly to Recoleta's thoughts. Alright, one more. On to the next cave. If my count is right, this should be the 10th cave. There is no path ahead. Only a thick gray mist. To mark the journey's end, so that mist must be it. I see. I need to complete the 9th and 10th time to reach the 10th night. But the 9th and 10th, what does that even mean? What if I extinguished the last fire in this 10th cave? Recoleta sits cross-legged, staring at the final brazier. After a long pause, she suddenly laughs, then picks up the brazier with both hands.
It must be this brazier. It marks the boundary between the 9th cave and the 10th.
Smart. Put the brazier between them and they're considered both the 9th and the 10th flame. Wow, these metaphors and symbols really are hard to understand. I think I finally get why people struggle with my novels. She's learning. With all her strength, she hurls the flames into the mist.
Go! Bring forth the light!
We're in a church. Alright. The mist scatters. Ahead, 4 enormous phantoms loom. Behind them, she barely makes out a shackled figure in the darkness.
Miss Hunting, are you alright?
Hunting seems to be speaking, but an unseen barrier muffles her voice. I tried to stop you, but you still came. Child, why must you seek the secret of the ageless? Executioner, your cruelty has broken my heart. How amusing. I never thought you'd make it here. Countless voices echo in the ruins, mocking her powerlessness. And 4 voices rise in unison, forming a harmony.
Step aside. I must rescue my comrade.
Recoleta faces the phantom symbols like a knight, her pen wielded like a sword. Clearly, this battle isn't about strength. You are not the Minotaur guarding the labyrinth. You are mere obstacles. Symbols created to hinder me.
Las ruinas gloriosas. The answer's in the name, right?
Clever little rider. What blocks your path is nothing but imaginary chains. With a mere flick of your pen, you may sever them. It is unbelievably simple. Recoleta lunges forward with her sword. In the darkness, the sounds of chains snapping ring out. But before long, more chains, newborn and endless, emerge from the abyss.
What's going on?
Recoleta slashes over and over again through the chains, but her efforts are in vain. Exhausted, she collapses to the ground. A flickering shadow catches the corner of her eye. It's Hunting. Off in the distance, what is she doing? Hunting has abandoned words. She raises both hands above her head, outlining a rectangle. A rectangle? What's that supposed to mean? Hunting makes a motion as if embracing something, tracing the shape of the rectangle repeatedly in the air. A pillar? Wait, the pillar from above!
It's the pillar del Templo de la Metáfora.
Aha!
The
Get it?
MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin. It's always the MacGuffin. In the Crook stories, it is almost always the necklace. Those quoted words strike Recoleta like lightning in a spring storm. Yes, a necklace. A chain, just like the Templo de la Metáfora. Those chains are meaningless. I need to move past them and face the core of Ruinas Gloriosas head on. Countless chains bind and drag Recoleta to the ground under their weight. She covers her ears, struggling as she steps into the 4 symbols. And brings out a sword again. Slash, east, west, south, north. Recoleta swings her sword in all 4 directions. With each strike, she bears the weight of 1,000 chains. The twisted laughter fades. Exhaustion and relief wash over her, and she collapses to the ground. Her eyelids feel unbearably heavy. Hunting's voice grows distant. Where are we at now? The Pampas Plain. The cowboy gazes out the window at the prairie, the fresh green of spring filling her with an almost dreamlike sense of renewal. My head hurts a little. Maybe I slept too long.
Those adventures seem hazy now.
It's alright. You've already written our adventures into a novel. We've escaped the Templo de la Metáfora, wandered for ages in the symbolic forest, and in the end, you saved me in the Ruinas Gloriosas. The cowboy feels as if she's in a dream, but she knows the coachman is right. those images slowly resurface in her mind. Alright, and my novel? Is it finished? Have you forgotten we wrote an eternal masterpiece and even won a significant literary award?
Where are we going?
We're heading home. Back to Buenos Aires. Back to the HA publishing house for a grand awards ceremony. And then our story will continue to come to an end. The cowboy chuckles softly. She waves at the tall figure before her. Woohoo! There she is. As the carriage jostles forward, the sheep throws open the door and leaps into the golden light of the sun. Yeah, I want to cash this before it actually skips a thing.
Goodbye, Miss Hunting. Publishing novels, receiving awards. None of that matters to me anymore. There's a whole beautiful world before me. Shouldn't I live like a poet and go out and experience its wonders under the glorious radiance of Apollo? Shouldn't I run free, feeling the grass and earth between my toes?
Hang on. Now that's a beautiful end right here. She wanted to have her novel published, but only to find out that it was a struggle. And now she just simply writes because she loves it.
After all, the story is far from over.
She wants to write more. Behind her, the coachman, Hunting, watches, relief and longing coloring her face. She waves at the soaring figure of freedom. You're as careless as ever, Recoleta. You forgot that, in the story, you're supposed to call me coachman. But none of that matters now. Go, Recoleta. Like an invincible warrior, like a falcon soared free, like a fearless guacho knight, go forth and conquer the boundless Pampas plain. Good luck, rebellious nameless writer, who scorns fame and disregards all else.
Blessed me, blessed me. My beating heart does drum. The fervent words of visceral realism, within my chest they thump. Come on home, spirits of the past.
That's not an eagle, that was a seagull. Just notice that. The seasons cycle once more. A new winter arrives. Hunting sits at her desk, warming her hands with a cup of coffee as she flips through the manuscript. You need to dissect the salesman's psychology more deeply. Everything else is fine. If we're lucky, it might be published before spring. In the past, you'd have said no one cares about a retired salesman's story. True, but things have changed. It's just like Gregor Samsa in the Metamorphosis. You just need to write as well as Kafka, Tommy.
May I ask?
What made you leave such a high-paying job to start your own publishing house? That's a secret. A secret which has a little something to do with you.
Oh.
You mean my novel moved you that much? A knock at the door interrupts the writer.
I'm sorry.
To intrude, Director, we received a package, an anonymous novel addressed to you. Let me take a look. The employee unwraps the package and gently places a thin booklet on the desk. Ruinas Gloriosas y Directrices de Metáforas by Recoleta?
That's...
Yep. This book is dedicated to Maria Hunting, an editor, a teacher, a friend, and a brave and honest person. Aww. I kinda like how she narrates her own stories. Miss Hunting, are you alright? Oh, she's crying. She put the dedication in the surf preface. Looks like she still remembers my advice. She got her novel out. Well, I'm not sure publishing, maybe, but inspiration. Do I have to read this? Dedicated to the writers of history, those remarkable distant stars. Dedicated to the editors of history, the unsung geniuses who capture brilliance. Dedicated to you who are watching now, the wonderful players, viewers, and readers. The fourth wall breaking, right there. Really? Yeah. That's the end of that. Oh, man. Alright, guys. We finally finished with her thing here. In Infinite Symbolism? Oh, that's what the game is called. Infinite Symbolism. Okay. So, in this mode, Recoleta receives a random arcane skills, while Literary Demon gains 2 random skill effects. Recoleta's perception ability is also impaired. Only some of the pages are unveiled to her at the start. Well, that's unfortunate for me, and I'm going to stop right here. Yeah, I'm going to exit anyway. So, again, guys, I just want to say thank you all for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give this video a like or dislike. And you have anything to say about this story here and there, let me know in the comment section down below. You have anything to say about the video? Again, comments in the bottom section. And of course, the link to my game list for every single one of my Reverse Sanctinellian videos are in the description as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to click the subscribe button if you like what you see, and if you wish to support my channel. Just click the subscribe button, like the video, comment, put some comments in my comment section down below, and I would be eternally grateful. It'd be appreciated, and I will love you all for it. Just to check out my YouTube channel, just to see the videos in all of my categories, and see what you think. Now, I just did this before I actually did my other video as well, which will be part 2 of chapter 10. I could do it anytime I could do it, but I believe the new character is going to come out in 3 days, and I know who it is. I will say thank you. Like I said, I like this story. I believe this came after the events in chapter 10, where she is still a struggling writer to see if she tries to get on with the status quo to try to get her novel published. But in the end, she just chooses to write for the sake of writing. She doesn't care. She won't care about if her novel is going to be published or not. She just wants others to hear her story and see if they agreed if she get it right or not. So yeah, that's the end of that novel. But a new one will always be made, no matter what, as long as she breathes. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the new video. So peace out. Have an awesome weekend, or have an awesome week, and have an awesome summer. Bye.